17 minutes.
Okay, so here we are. My name's Derek Whitman, and this is Wyatt.
Howdy.
Wyatt Shakespeare. We've got Mick McCammon here on the phone.
Yo, I'm here.
Yeah, and we've also got John as our film producer.
Hi, this is my first time doing a documentary like this, so I'm actually quite nervous.
Right?
But this is the group I've been assigned to.
Our Reclamation Reform Act of 1982, and
This is my environmental laws and policies class, and this is my professor. I asked if he can explain this project for me for this video.
You know, the presentations can be anything you want. It just has to cover that rubric. It doesn't have to be a PowerPoint.
Hey Johnson, how you doing?
I don't think the professor really understood what I was going for, but that's okay.
Were you talking to him about your video format?
Well, I was just wanting to, I wanted him to just explain what the assignment is, so I can just get a soundbite for the video, but then he, I guess, thought I was recording it so I can better understand what the assignment is, so I didn't really quite get what I need, but it's okay. After reviewing all my clips, I realized my group mates explained their information much more naturally and better than our staged conversation that was shown earlier.
This morning, but he's gone a little deeper. The Reclamation Reform Act of 1982 was actually, it's a reform of Reclamation Act of 1902. And so when he was doing the background, he found out about this, and that was used to actually do the Provo River and the Glen Canyon Dam. Why don't you tell him what?
And that's just one.
Wyatt's a little embarrassed in front of the camera, so I decided to speed up his voice.
Dammed up for or by funds used from this program because they wanted to develop farming in the valley, so they built dams to make irrigation possible. And I just thought it was pertinent because there's a lot of hype about them restructuring the Provo River back to its original state. So
yeah, and then also Glen Canyon Dam too was another thing that was funded by this.
Yeah, and probably most dams in that era were funded by the same thing, but it's just
Wait, so if they're talking about bringing Provo River back to its natural state, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be undoing what this act did originally, right?
I don't know exactly because
we should look into that.
They did. This is the website where they got their information, the link in below. This is a summary of the background research. Stop me if I'm going too fast. Wait, before I continue, I just realized looking through all my video that no one actually explains what this act is, so I'm going to have to do it. The Reclamation Reform Act of 1982, or the RRA, is a standard criteria for evaluating water management plans. Basically, it requires agricultural water contractors to provide water management plans. And each plan contains definite goals and water conservation measures, and a time schedule to meet objectives. This plan was supposed to help promote farming opportunities, and this led to the building of dams like the Glen Canyon Dam and the Provo Dam. Now that we got this out of the way, let's return back to what Wyatt has to say.
The primary goal of the act was to create more affordable farming opportunities for families in the arid
This is our
west
staged
by
conversation.
developing irrigation systems.
As you can see, it's a lot more rigid.
And
I'm slightly ashamed to call myself
it was
a
also
documenter staging this conversation.
made to relieve urban congestion. Examples that I've been able to find a lot of information on. The first is one local here, right in Provo.
Yeah.
It was the Provo River Project.
Mm-hmm.
And the project was for the people here in the area who wanted to farm but didn't have enough irrigation water to perform that.
Okay.
And in the project, in the 50s and 60s, the people dammed and straightened the Provo River and created irrigation systems that they were able to use in their fields.
And now, so yeah, it's holding back Lake Powell.
And for the Provo River project,
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the dams, the Jordan Hill Dam that was created. And this is the river today.
I've come up with a few issues, shortcomings. One of the shortcomings
This is different.
was irrigated land usage wasn't allocated enough for a future. They didn't have enough foresight. And so
I really like how he explains the drawbacks to Mick over the phone instead of in our fake conversation. You can see the difference between this and our staged conversation.
And that's what spurred the Reclamation Reform Act of 1982, or the New Land Reform Act. And that basically just changed the allocation of irrigated land usage and some other stipulations associated with what farmers had to do for their lands. So that's one thing I focused on. And then another shortcoming was that they kind of took away some of the natural environment. So that's where Provo River comes in.
Can we put this on Skype and discuss all this?
Skype won't connect right now.
This is the reason why Mitch doesn't appear in this video.
So,
but that's okay, because he didn't really want to be video recorded. It's a win-win situation.
Yeah. So this is just real. We're just going with a real basic summary. All we have to say about the Provo River is I say that it's a shortcoming because it took away some of the natural look of the environment. And then you say for the future.
Before I get ahead of myself, here is a summary of the drawbacks. This is the source that we used. If you're interested to learn more, the web address is on top. Once again, if I'm going too fast, just tell me to pause the video.
Tellico Dam in Little Tennessee River, which threatened the snail darter fish habitat. And that dam, even though it was nearly completed, ended up not being finished because because of the lawsuit. They didn't want to destroy that habitat.
Look at us. We're like a galactic council, planning to defeat the evil Emperor Zurg.
Now we've got this whole bureau and all these dams and this irrigation, but there are some problems, so where do we go? Mick, did you find anything?
Mick, I got 3 minutes left on the camera, so you got exactly 3 minutes to say this.
Unfortunately, he does not complete it in 3 minutes. Let me show you a reason why.
I talked to our professor earlier today, and so he was reminding me that we're not getting into a whole lot of detail. We're just kind of touching on how the law, like the originally, has affected us now. So we're not going into the Provo thing. That's not like the real focus. That's just one thing we're saying is a future direction.
I have never received a short answer from him.
Like, look, we need to be really careful when we create irrigation.
But let's get back to learning.
3 minutes left on the camera, so you got exactly 3 minutes to say this.
Okay. Well, first we have that Provo River Restoration project. We're glad we have the Reclamation Bureau, but we really need to stop. We can smile all we want hindsight, but there are a lot of things that we really need to look forward to.
I'm sorry for the poor audio quality, but here are the points that Mitch touches upon.
We have some to help restore wetland and to mitigate more, but anybody knows anything about wetland restoration, it is not an easy process. So, monetarily speaking, good policy execution through the Reclamation Act will keep things like
I sped his voice by 20% to compress for time.
a very tight issue. There's a limit to freshwater quantities, and a lot of them depend on ecosystem services to purify it before it gets to them. And so the policies should hopefully promote more public education programs to encourage people to protect those lands. It's already enough to invest in agriculture. The last thing you want to do is tank out after 5 years because you can't afford the kind of water, the treatment, everything that's going to have to come from another source because you've ruined yours, And so I guess the policymakers just really need to keep in mind the bottom line. You break it, you buy it.
Yeah.
You know, you may spend a hefty penny now, but it's going to be far worse in the end having to fix that. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of irrigation water, you know, we have other things like the Jordan River wastewater plant. The state regulation permits them to build this thing, and they have scientific codes and things, everything they have to follow according to the Clean Water Act.
Hey,
And
Nick.
then they
Apologize, I'm slightly sick.
and people started complaining.
Been trying to get over a cold for almost a month now.
Again, if people were really educated through good policy, I think we wouldn't have had that. The Jordan River project.
Okay,
Nick,
so
Nick, I don't want to cut you off right now. Nick, I don't want to cut you off right now, but do you have like a link or some stuff that we can look at this further into? Because the battery thing is flashing right now.
Okay. No, I do not have a link.
This is a staged conversation. He was supposed to say yes.
okay. So let's just wrap this up. So we know that there's a lot of things we need to do for the future. We need we need to educate people about land use. We need to educate people about keeping the environment. You know, when these people began this bureau, they just went out with a sense of manifest destiny over water usage, and they damned everything they could get their hands on. But that's not
I
how
realized
we
that
need
it's
to
pretty
approach
neat
things.
that
We
the
need
video
to
cut to black,
be more conservative.
but the truth is I
and,
simply just ran out of battery.
educated and make sure we're using enough but not too much, right?
I think the money and effort we end up putting into fixing the problem.
Battery's gone.
Because in the beginning educating people so that we're all in a common mindset as to what needs to happen.